Ellis driving baseline. What a dive!
Wickham, how sweet was that? Step back three.
Wow.
Taylor George. She's got a flamethrower at the moment.
Shelley with a big triple.
It was acrobatic. It was impressive. It was Steph Talbot.
Jade Melvin, the lefty lay-in. Capitals continue to roll. Perth have been unconscious from three. Alice Koenig connects.
She's pumped up, and so she should be.
It's now or never for the UC Capitals and Sydney today, with only one of these teams to feature in the Signet WNBL finals in a fortnight's time. Their battles this season have been epic, and the final instalment this afternoon at the AIS Centre will be the biggest of them all as the race towards the top four continues. But the Flames will have to do it without their superstar Kayla George, who in breaking news is out of today's match with a foot injury. Jess Webster with you alongside renowned women's basketball coach Laurie Chiswick. And Laurie, it's fair to say both of us are pretty pumped for this one.
Well, certainly when it comes down to any team vying for a spot in that Final Four, and it's a do or die, an absolute do or die for Canberra. For Sydney, well, they want to try and secure it if they win today, but as you mentioned, without their superstar, Kayla George, that adds a real twist to this afternoon.
It certainly does. Finals will come a little bit earlier for us this afternoon in this contest. This is the final match of what has been another dramatic round in the Signet WNBL competition. Laurie, with Adelaide losing a couple of moments ago to Southside, it's down to the last two. Only the Capitals and the Flames can make the top four.
Right, Geelong and Adelaide's chances have been extinguished, so it really does come down to the last two, Canberra and Sydney, and so today's game will go a long way in maybe sorting out the jigsaw puzzle that's still left in this WNBL.
Oh, it's been a wild ride so far, and we're expecting big things this afternoon. And these two teams, of course, only played 10 days ago in one of the matches of the season, Laurie. It went down to overtime and a dramatic Sydney win.
Oh, and that was the game that could have clinched the game for Canberra. And it was such a well-executed out-of-bounds play, but not to be, and it did go into overtime. And Sydney were able to secure that 4-point win, but some really outstanding performances. Melbourne, 28 points, 10 rebounds. Swain, 36 points and 6 assists. So it'll be interesting what today's game brings.
Oh, she's in incredible form at the moment. I mean, today's matchup will come down to the Big Four. Interestingly, both these sides average the exact same amount of points per season, and they've got some pretty handy shooters amongst it, starting with the UC Caps. Melbourne, Collier, Poch, and Munger. That combination does some damage.
Well, they do, and those players average 51 points out of their total points per game, so they have to continue to stand up, and I have no doubt in today's game, with the importance of it, they will, and then be ably supported by the players coming off the bench.
And for the Flames, I mean, things just get pretty interesting here at the moment. So Kayla George is a late out with a foot injury, as is McKenna Dale, who is out with a finger injury, and Yamaya Morris back into the lineup with a knee. But their top four, they combine for average 53 points per game. But without Kayla George, that's a pretty massive loss.
Well, it is a massive loss, 15.3 points. So you go, okay, who's going to step up with that? But I tell you what, for Kayla, an absence of Kayla, it's not only her scoring, but it's her size, it's her defending, it's just her presence in the middle of the key.
And to illustrate that, the last time they played 10 days ago, she played every single minute of that game. That's how important she is. So for the UC Caps, they're making a run towards the top four. It's do or die for them. They're on their home floor. They kept their finals hopes alive with a win over Geelong last week. Do they now head into today's game as favourites, do you think?
Well, I think with the absence of Kayla George and just the size that she brings, that Canberra are all of a sudden going to be a big team. So they will want to take advantage of that. And I think as long as they don't sort of overthink it and try and change things too much, but obviously they'll need to have an inside presence. And I would say that they would have to go into tonight's or this afternoon's game as slight favorites.
So it'll be interesting to see who of the Flames steps up today. They are so close to their first finals appearance in 7 seasons, aiming for a clean sweep over the Capitals today, which is also super important in the mix for the top four. But it's going to take a really big effort from the entire roster today.
Well, the entire roster, and if we look at their starting lineup, they have newly defined the definition of small ball basketball. There isn't a player that's over 180 centimeters, and when you look at Collier at 195, Potch at 90, you can see what the strategy should be for Canberra. But we'll see how Sydney cope with this. They need to play up and in an aggressive type defense.
So what are we going to get this afternoon? We're underway at the AIS Centre, and it's going to be Canberra with first possession as Melbourne looks to make an impact early to Collier, who's off the mark. And an early opportunity here for the Flames. Shanice Swain takes it away off to Tapia. It's been a season of pivoting and adapting for the Flames. Can they pull out some more tricks from their bag this afternoon without Kayla George? Munger gets a hand in there and breaks it up. This young, energetic Capitals outfit sensing a big opportunity today. And the ball goes out of play.
Well, we know one thing for sure, that with the size that Sydney have, they're going to be able to switch everything aggressively because they won't lose any size when they switch any sort of on-ball screen. So they just have to be really aggressive defensively and see what comes their way.
So Umaya Morris back into the lineup. She missed that thrilling overtime win 10 days ago with a knee injury, but she's starting on the bench today. So the Flames starting five: Taylor, Pittman, Swain, Tapia and Bran Catazano. As they hustle here to keep it alive. Taylor is offline, although a fumble. And it's gifted possession back to Sydney. Swain, a fumble too. So a bit of nerves, a bit of tension out there so far.
Well, it's interesting because whilst, you know, Sydney will have their challenges, equally for Canberra, they now have to have players like Collier defend players that are so much smaller than her that she's not used to, that probably are out on the perimeter. So, you know, that she doesn't have the bodies to bang with, but a bit of a slow start for both teams right now, just finding that basket, settling into this game.
So the Capitals now with a chance to get on the scoreboard first. Jade Melbourne looking to make a move. Hands it off, and now they work their way inside. We finally get the first basket. Collier gets it done.
Well, you would think that Collier, Potch, they will just dominate the boards, and if they get a rebound, there shouldn't be much of a challenge to get some second chance points.
Bran Catazano from outside the perimeter. Moves off target. Bowyer for the Caps. Hands it off to Potch, works her way inside off the glass.
Well, first two baskets, both feet in the paint.
Fast transition from the Flames, and their first basket continues to elude them. Pittman this time seeing her opportunity. Potch goes inside to Collier and gets fouled. So we get another look on replay.
Well, unfortunately, Munger just brought her defender with her cut, just brought her defender into the path of Collier. So unfortunately, the spacing was not as good, but anyway, it doesn't matter because she got fouled and is sent into the line now. Paul Goris looking very stern out there, isn't he?
Well, plenty on the line this afternoon,
I guess
isn't it?
he certainly knows the importance, and as coaches, you'd be working out wins and losses and head-to-head. And
it's Bran Catazano, second time lucky. Out there, she knocks down a triple to get the Flames on the board.
And you would think that's where the Flames would have the ascendancy. They're going to need to score well from the three-point line.
Munger responds.
Good answer by Munger.
And you can't underestimate the importance of Kayla George missing in action today for Sydney. So everyone in the UC Capitals camp will know there's a big opportunity here on the home floor to potentially make finals. Tapia makes it move. Can't get it done, but she gets fouled and will head to the line.
And you have to say, if anybody is going to put a game plan in place, playing small ball and taking advantage of the players that he's got, it's Coach Guy Malloy, who is with his 16th season in the WNBL. Very good tactician. We see him on screen there.
Two-time WNBL Coach of the Year as well. And it's been that kind of season for Sydney. They've had to find a way. They've had a lot thrown at them with injuries and player unavailability, so they've had to adapt pretty much every week and find a combination that works for them. Collier comes up short. So if any team can adapt, it's going to be Sydney. Here goes Taylor. It's broken up by Bowyer. Nearly 5-point lead to the Caps. These two sides obviously have met twice this season. Way back in round 1, it was Sydney by 17 points on that day. And of course, 10 days ago, the thrilling overtime victory by the Flames in one of the matches of the season. Shanice Swain trying to find a way through and get it out to Taylor. Drives towards the basket, gets her scoring off with the 2.
Good ball movement, no panic situations from Sydney in that instance.
Knocked out a play by Tapia. So what do you think the mindset will be in the Flames camp at the moment, Laurie, without their inspirational superstar and Kayla George?
Well, I think, you know what, I think they're just going to have a go and try as hard as they can, because nobody would expect them to win with the size that they've got on the court and, you know, with the injuries that they've got. So, you know, just try some different things, see what works, see if you can run, see if you can challenge Canberra's bigs to defend them out at the three-point line. Collier averages eight rebounds a game, so I'm sure we'll see her maybe collect even a few more than that today's game.
She certainly started strongly. 6 points as well and a couple of rebounds to go with it in this first quarter. 5 points the advantage the way of the Capitals. Swain and Potch collide.
Well, that's an interesting call, because I think Potch anticipated her, sending her away from the screening action, and looked like just a little arm extension by Swain, but the referee saw it the other way.
And the home crowd here certainly saw it a certain way as well, but they've won the ball back here, the Caps.
I thought in last week's game, Brancatisano did a really great job on Melbourne. Now, I know that sounds silly when she got 28 points, but that second half, I think she's going to, I'm not sure if they're giving her a technical on that for throwing the ball away. Caps are just a little bit disjointed right now with the you know, what's in front of them and the way that Sydney are playing.
And we spoke about the Flames having to adapt without Kayla George, but the Caps have to do the exact same thing, because they would have prepared her playing, and she's obviously #1 on the list of players to try and stop. So they're having to sort of change a few plans, as well as Brancatisano lets it fly from the corner.
Well, it is. All of a sudden, the matchups are completely different. Collier's, you know, who probably would have guarded George, she's now guarding a guard in Pittman, so she's going to have to head out to the perimeter. So everybody's just that little bit different. But if Sydney get hot from the three-point line or allow second shots like that of Tapia, then, you know, they could really take this game by the throat, Sydney. Sydney are third in the competition in three-point percentage at 33%, so they're going to have to shoot that or above, you feel like, in today's game, because you can't see them getting many second chance opportunities.
Stay powered with Signet, Australia's favourite power bank brand. Keep your devices charged and never miss a moment. Visit signet.com to find your perfect power bank. And the Flames close to within 3. 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. As Melbourne lets it go from outside the arc. He's off target. Tapia Tapia from long range. It's no good. Munga's let it go. Catazzano takes it away, gives it to Taylor. Looking for a way forward. Munga did well defensively. Taylor gets it back, gives it to Tapia from pretty much the exact same positions a couple of moments ago, and we get the same result.
Well, Canberra are going to have to take care of business when it comes to dribble penetration, because right now that's Sydney's plan. They're dribbling it in, drawing the defenders, and then kicking it out to their shooters at the three-point line.
Possession to remain with the Caps here. They lead by 3. Final match of round 15 in the Signet WNBL competition. Finals are on our doorstep. The question remains, who will feature in the postseason?
And you can see Morris has come into the game, adds that little bit of height. You can see she's heavily strapped with her knee.
Swain nowhere to go. Great defense from the Caps as Diebel takes it away. Fast transition, Melbourne for a first bucket of the day.
Really good fast break basket, 2-on-1 situation, nicely timed pass and strong finish by Melbourne.
Good to see two of the best young guns go head-to-head today in Jade Melbourne and Shanice Swain. What form they are in this season.
Well, you can see the Caps want to try and keep the ball out of Shanae Swain's hands by doubling on that on ball, but there's that fast break by Jade Melbourne. So they want her to try and get rid of it once she's come off that on ball, because you know how deadly she is then in decision making.
Had matches producing 40 and 36 points in recent weeks. Here's Swain at the line.
It's something that Sydney will want to take advantage of. At 3.5 minutes to go in this quarter, they go to the foul line every single time a foul is made.
And close the gap to 3 points. Tightly contested opening quarter. Potch, a fumble opens the door for Sydney to pounce. Taylor hands it off to Swain. It's a travel. Gifted possession right back. Munga takes on Taylor. Big contact. He's turned it over.
Yeah, charge is called. So now they've called a few of those. The players have to make the adjustment. This is how the referees are going to call it.
Taylor signaling the call herself and then takes the rest. So both sides having their opportunities in this first quarter. Just joined us, no Kayla George or McKenna Dale for the Flames. Both out of today's match with a foot and finger injury respectively. I'm unsure how serious that injury is to Kayla George. Melbourne v Brian Catazzano. Hands it off to Potch.
You can see inside Pittman just battling away with Collier.
Diebel wide open for the three and knocks it down.
That was a really nice skip pass because the defense had totally collapsed.
Here's Morris, as you mentioned, Laurie, that left knee heavily strapped. Battling hard. Dees keeps it alive to Tapia. Go back inside to Morris off the right. Points starting to float. 4-point lead to the Caps. Poch gets fouled.
The call will be that she got fouled before she went into her shooting motion, so it should be sideline ball. Or end line ball.
It's Jade Melbourne in the corner, sweeps around, looking to pass it back to Collier, and it's come off the leg. Ricocheted amongst it. Have a little look. Brian Catazano, I think it was. Two minutes to go here in the first quarter. A tight battle so far, as we would expect. Finals on the line for these two sides. Collier heads to the bench and Bishop enters the game. Here's Babongi. Trying to find her way through. And good block by Morris. No, Poch cleans it up. Shot clock ticking down, and she gets infringed. WNBL fans, it's time for you to vote. Cast your vote for the Ford Fan MVP, and you can be the lucky fan presenting the award live at the WNBL Awards Night. Head to the WNBL website and vote now to go in the draw to win 2 tickets, flights and accommodation to the WNBL Awards evening. And voting closes tomorrow, so make sure you head to the website now and cast your vote. It's a wonderful prize on offer. Brian Catazano knocks one down from the corner.
Well, she's that's somebody you don't want to leave wide open at the three-point line.
And they're keeping in touch with the Flames. Down to 2, and they get a stop. A minute to go here in the first quarter. Taylor swings it across to Pittman. Bounces off the rim, but good rebound from Morris. She's going to be important today. Back to Tapia. Hands it off to Pittman. Works hard towards the basket, but can't get it to go. Bishop hands it off to Poch. Takes on Tapia, one-on-one in the cage. Can't find the finish.
Yeah, she's disappointed in that. That was a great outlet pass, kick ahead pass to Poch, who had run the floor. Sydney has a team shoot the free throws at 75%, third in the competition. So, you know, they want to continue to put pressure on the rim and get themselves to the line as much as possible.
Taylor misses her first attempt, 1 from 2. And we have a 1-point ball game with 30 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Jade Melbourne looking to make a move. And they've turned it over. Brian Catazano gets to her feet.
Just a little bit of a horns action. Melbourne's waiting to set up Brian Catazano, and Abby Bishop just stepped a little bit into her. Caused the referees to blow the whistle. Sydney certainly can't afford to lose another player.
Certainly not.
They're going to be asking Renee Garloff, who's in the picture there, to step on court and get suited up pretty soon.
Hopefully just maybe a little bit winded there,
Yeah.
Brian Catazano. She'll take a rest. As we get the floor cleaned up a little bit. Great crowd here today at the AIS Arena. Desperately wanting to see their side make the finals. A win today would go a very long way. So we see some more contact. And this is going to send Sydney to the line. What do we think, Laurie?
Well, it looked like a really small touch, but because her motion was going forward, it didn't look like a flop to me. So, you know, the referees are right there. But these are the sort of little things that Canberra can't afford.
Taylor misses the first. This to tie the game. And she misses both of them. It's been an intense start early. Caps by a point. Final few seconds of the first quarter. Bongi trying to get through the Sydney defense, just has to put a shot up and it's off target, and that marks the end of a hotly contested opening quarter here at the AIS Arena at quarter time. It is the UC Caps leading the Sydney Flames 17-16.
We got our Vikings basketball club here with us. Starts to remember, screw up here in the corner. We come up with our players there here. All right, boys, let's see next to a ball each. Now, the challenge today. This is our challenge thanks to forward Aussie hoops. What we're going to do is we're going to drive between these cones, or as quickly as you can. Show us off all your skills. Then, when you get to halfway, do you guys know what a flop is? I want you to do the most dramatic flop that you can do, alright? Then I want you to pick the ball up and head to the basket and finish it off. Are you ready? Are you set? Forward Aussie Hoop Challenge starts now. Thank you to our Ford local dealer, Gerald Slaven Ford. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Pretty good. Pretty good. Could be a bit more dramatic, but it was good. Oh, boys! First go! High fives. And thanks to Ford and Gerald Slaven Ford, our local Ford dealer, I've got a signed basketball for both of you. How's that sound? Sound pretty good? Done. Let's head this way. Well done, boys. Give them a big round of applause. Thank you, Vikings, for being here today. And it's just about time.
Quarter time at the AIS Arena in the nation's capital. Two teams desperate to make finals this season, and at quarter time it is the Caps on their home floor, leading by a single point. A close start to this contest. Jess Webster and Laurie Chiswick with you in commentary. Laurie, what are your thoughts on that opening quarter?
Well, I thought that Canberra probably could have done a better job of getting the ball inside and capitalizing on the mismatches that they have, but instead it was really Sydney that did a pretty good job of moving the ball around. That was a good fast break by Jade Melbourne, but I think if Canberra are going to get the ascendancy in this game, they need to start being just that little bit more physical and get that ball inside.
So if you just joined us, no Kayla George for Sydney today, out with a foot injury. It almost seems like Sydney were perhaps the better team to settle in that first quarter. What do you think?
Well, they threw all the, they were fighting, they were pushing defensively, they ran the ball really well, and yeah, I agree.
It's underway in the second quarter, Caps by a point. Taylor, top of the key, knocks it down, and they hit the front for the first time this afternoon, the Flames.
Well, they were shooting the three ball at 20% at quarter time, but now they're 3 from 11. And that's what they have to do. They have to penetrate, make the defense collapse, and that hope their three-point shooting holds them in good stead.
Capitals turn to respond. Dable trying to get through the legs of Taylor.
And that's the thing for the Capitals. Because they've got the size, they need to pass fake it inside. If you're not going to pass it, at least pass fake it. The defense of Sydney will collapse, and then you have wide open players on the perimeter.
There's Melbourne looking to find a way through. It rolls out. Stakaya. Taylor, Pittman, they share it around the perimeter. Brand Catazano. Shanice Swain, the star from long range, comes up short. That'll go out of play. Wherever Jade Melbourne is,
Yes.
Brancatazano is right there with her.
Exactly.
Here's Collier.
They're going to be good friends by the end of this game.
There they are again, going toe-to-toe. Now they get the shot. Rimunga can't get it to go, but wins it back. Now for two. Also misses a chance. Pittman hands it off to Swain. Sweeping pass to Pittman. One-on-one with Jade Melbourne. Canberra come up with it. Melbourne goes all the way herself. Off the glass for two.
Well, I think that's a good tactic of Canberra because there's not much of bench left in for Sydney, but that's somebody they need to take care of. Brancatazano at the three-point line in the corners is really hurting Canberra right now.
She's 3 from 5 so far today, finding her range. As things continue to heat up here in the nation's capital. As Collier gets fouled. Started strongly with the 6 points in the opening quarter. 4 from 4 at the line. Shouldn't have said anything.
And I think they really need to look at Collier as a first look. Even if they can get it to her and then she can kick it out to an open perimeter shooter or somebody slashing to the basket. But they really need to utilize her height.
Flames with the momentum, early stages, second quarter. They lead by 3. Looking to extend their advantage here. Taylor lets it fly from outside the arc.
And see, that's a difficult matchup for somebody like Collier to defend. She's not used to coming way out past the three-point line early unless an on-ball is being set and her player pick and pops.
So handy 6-point buffer now to the Flames. Taylor takes a tally to 9 points, 3 rebounds as well so far. There's Bowyer from long range. Can't get it to go. Morris brings it in. Shanice Swain goes herself from outside the arc.
Well, that's going to help Sydney a long way if she gets shooting in that sort of consciousness. And we know she can. Swain just comes down casually, pulls up at the three-point line.
And they find themselves with a 9-point lead.
Wow.
Here in the second quarter as we head to a timeout. Shanice Swain just warming things up. It's her first triple of the day. Calling all sports teams, say goodbye to travel headaches and hello to CTM Sport. CTM are 100% committed to delivering excellence in their field. Lead the logistics to the travel experts so your athletes can focus on what they do best. Learn more at ctmsport.com.au. So the Flames have made their move here in the second quarter, Laurie. They'll be pretty pleased with how they've managed to come out in the second quarter and open up a pretty handy advantage for themselves.
Oh, absolutely. Guy Malloy would be really pleased with them. They're doing all the right things. Driving, dishing, moving the ball around, hitting open players. Defensively, they're amazingly taking the middle away from Canberra and really compressing it and making them shoot from the three-point line and also getting some good deflections and forcing some turnovers. So they've been really impressive so far.
Shanice Swain knocks down her first three-pointer. Impressive form of late, so UC Caps wouldn't want her to get up and running, that's for sure. Brancatazano also playing a really important role so far with a 9 points, 3 from outside the perimeter. As we get it back underway here in the second. Jade Melbourne all the way, kicks it out to Bowyer, but she's been fouled. So coming out of this timeout, I think the UC Caps will be looking to try and do.
We can see it was just a nice little clear out play for Jade Melbourne. Caught the defense just a little bit off guard.
Bongi comes to Pye for company. Shot clock ticking down. Looking to go to Collier.
Now I like
and
that.
the finish.
Yeah, there's a few times I thought they should have done that. Get the ball in the air. She's by far the biggest player on court. I mean, Morris is on there too right now, but they need to do more of that inside looking.
Shanice Swain takes on Jade Melbourne. Home crowd wanted the call, they didn't get it. Play stays alive. Second chance for Swain. It's no good. Jade Melbourne loses her feet. We'll just have to get things cleaned up. Hopefully she's hasn't hurt herself in the process here, Jade Melbourne. Just to see the replay of the one-on-one battle. Swain and Melbourne. Two of the young guns going head to head. Looking a little sore, Jade Melbourne.
She is.
Trying to shake it off.
She's got such an engine, such a motor, Jade Melbourne.
Always seems so full of energy. Calling the shots here up against Grant Cardesano. See some more contact off the ball. Munga now, her chance to make a move.
Well, they're being a bit more purposeful right now, the Canberra Capitals, and what they're executing and where they want their shot to come from.
Morris gets it from Swain and gets infringed.
But good response from Sydney. No panic, just a nice little pick and roll. Morris rolling hard, getting it up in the air. Jade Melbourne came across to help, but was just a little bit late.
Ford Dealers all about supporting the game here in Australia, from Ford Aussie Hoops to the WNBL. They've been backing Aussie sports and communities for nearly 100 years. So when you're ready to hit the court, your local Ford dealer is here to help you get to the game. Morris 1 from 2 at the line. Keeping the Caps at arm's length so far, Sydney. So far handling the pressure. Caps looking at wrestle momentum back in their favour. Jade Melbourne trying to get around Brand Cardesano, wearing her like a glove. Shots off target. 6-point lead to the Flames. Taylor looks to go inside to Morris with strength.
Really good finish. Good pass, strong catch.
5 minutes to go here in the first half. Final spot on the line. Babongi lets it fly from deep.
As I say, they're letting them off the hook by, you know, we know that they can switch everything, Sydney, other than with Morris.
Chance now for the Caps. Munga looks to go inside to Collier, a couple to beat. She does it. Sydney maintaining a 6-point buffer. They've controlled most of the second quarter, just 1 point separating the two sides at quarter time. The way of the Capitals. Here goes Taylor, working on Bowyer. Tough shot, can't get the finish. Tupaya working hard to keep it alive, but it goes out of play and it will be a Caps ball.
That was good defense by Boyer. She was forcing her to the side, to the baseline, and just not letting her get by her.
Two sides making a couple of changes. Dee's back out onto the floor. Tapai takes a rest. As does Brian Catazano.
We'll see how Dees goes.
Deeble and Poch back out onto the floor for the Cats.
I think Gran Catasano came off because Jade Melbourne came off. So I reckon if Jade comes back on, we will see Gran Catasano straight away.
Poch drives hard. Like a bulldozer. Sides operating at just around 60% of the line today so far. Watch 1 from 2. They've cut the margin to 5. Swain gets around Poch. Swings it across to Pittman in the corner. Bang! Gives them some more breathing room here, the Flames, as we head towards halftime. Bowyer takes on Pittman. Rolls out. Some good defense from the Flames.
I have to say, I'm really impressed with the Flames defense. Anytime there's any sort of dribble penetration, they do a pretty good job of their containment and help defense as a team.
Swain with 3 to beat. She gets fouled. Looking for a quick win in the kitchen? Latina Fresh Pasta will do the trick. It's easy, Aussie made, and seriously yummy for the whole family. What's not to love? Make dinner a slam dunk with Latina Fresh, proud sponsors of the WNBL. Just the 5 points so far for Shanice Swain today. Make it 6. 3 rebounds, 3 assists. And the trend continues at the foul line for these two sides as the call goes Sydney's way. And last touch from Canberra. Let's see how close it is. I know Bishop was expecting it to go away. So another opportunity here for the Flames. They lead by 9. What play can they manufacture here? Taylor pulls the trigger. It's no good. And that is going to remain with Sydney. So Dees is throwing it back into play. It's ricocheted off a Capitals player. And
a good second effort, and that's what you do. You need to keep at it, the play. Don't stop until that whistle goes.
as we head to a timeout here again in the second quarter. And this is a really handy lead now for the Sydney Flames. They trail by a point at quarter time, but they've owned the second quarter and they now lead by 9. So what messages do you think are being said here in the Capitals camp, Laurie?
Well, I think one, they need to not panic. There's a long time left in this game, but they need to get the ball through hands and create some opportunities where they can go inside a little bit more, take advantage of their height, take advantage of some mismatches, and you know, let them fight for the rebounds if a shot goes up. But right now I feel like it's just a little bit stagnant for Canberra and their ball movement.
They can maybe find a bit more polish as well. Just if they start to drop and they build some momentum and confidence, and they can.
Well, the thing is, you have
pretty
to,
quickly.
Sorry, Jess, you have to look and say, you know, Sydney's best bench is a little thin with all their injury out. So what Canberra need to keep doing is running the ball, putting pressure on Sydney. If nothing's there in a transition or fast break, pull it back out, then make them play defense. Because, you know, some of these players there that are forced to play big minutes haven't done so. So they could fatigue by the time the fourth quarter comes.
Plays back underway. A Sydney ball. Morris, Bishop for company, hands it off to Swain, works her way inside, tough finish.
Tough finish, that was so well defended, and Swain just used her strength and athleticism to finish that shot off.
They're out to a double-digit lead, Flames by 11. D-ball goes herself. Can't get it to go. Sydney looking to put the foot down here. Pittman kicks it out to Taylor. Just a little bit too much on the pass.
The other thing, Jess, I feel like Canberra, their season is on the line. This is do or die for them, and I don't see the desperation and the energy that they should be having in a game like this. They've got the crowd behind them. It's a good crowd. Sydney are depleted in players. But just something feels a little bit lacking right now.
They're looking for a spark at the moment, the Caps. Poch out to Bishop. They swing it around the perimeter. Deeble now out to Munga. She can't get it to go, but Bishop with the rebound keeps it alive. Hands it off to Jade Melbourne. She loses it. Sydney's defense standing strong. Taylor, and she's coughed it up. Melbourne takes it down the floor, hands it off to Deeble, swings it across. Bishop now, feet set, and knocks it down.
Well, thank goodness Abby Bishop decided to take that shot. Everybody seems a little bit gun-shy right now.
Turned it over again, Sydney. Caps have lifted a little here. Final couple of minutes. Bishop, two for two!
Abby Bishop. That'll lift this team up.
There's the spark we were searching for. Caps have made their move. They're back to within 5.
Well, Abby Bishop, the veteran, back on the court. Left wide open, nails those 2 shots, and all of a sudden, you can just feel the energy lift with Canberra.
And that's the perfect response you want out of a timeout. As we head to another one here in the second. Let's take a look at the replay. So this is the first.
Oh, she had all the time in the world to shoot that, and even that one.
Goes again. Now they've got the home crowd involved as well. So you've done the math, Laurie. If Sydney win today, I don't even think I can say. If Sydney win, they're in.
If Sydney win, they're in. That'll give them 8 wins. And even if Canberra then were to beat Bendigo next week, they would be on 8 wins, and Sydney has head-to-head. So if Sydney win today, they are absolutely, definitely in.
So that is how massive today's game is. Final game of round 15 with only 1 round remaining. Sydney Flames having to do it without their superstar Kayla George and McKenna Dale as well, who's out today. So they're up against it. The Caps, it's a big opportunity for them.
Well, however, now, if the Caps win, it's a different story. Then you look at different matchations with that last round 16 where Sydney have Townsville and Southside, but we might venture into that conversation in the second half, Jess.
A lot of basketball to be played here today. A minute to go in the second quarter. Flames by 5. Now the Caps have made a bit of a run for it. The margin was 11. Tapia gets fouled. She's off to the line.
That was a real experienced veteran play from Talia Tupaya. Just kept the speed going, then all of a sudden a little hesitation dribble here. You can just see, dropped her shoulder, and then went at Munger. Oh, Tapia, that's her first free throw that she's missed. She's now 20 from 21 from the free throw line.
Both sides have been a little bit wobbly at the charity stripe today. Bishop, 3 from 3, not quite. Munga gets the rebound and the finish.
I liked how they set up a play for Abby Bishop to give her another chance at a three-point shot.
When you're on, you're on. Sydney's turn to respond. To Pyer. Now to Pittman. Pulls the trigger. Can't get it to go. The Caps are coming. They're within 4 points. Koch in the corner. Back to Melbourne. Into the reset. As the seconds tick down towards halftime. As Melbourne feeds Poch for 2.
Well, Swain totally lost fight of Poch on that backdoor cut. Was caught ball watching. Great cut by Poch, and even better find by Jade Melbourne. And as we can see, a timeout immediately called by Coach Guy Malloy.
So it's halftime here at the AIS Arena. The Caps have made a late run in this second quarter. They've closed it within 2 points. At the main break, it is the Sydney Flames 38-36 over the Caps.
I'm on my prime, I'm feeling like Steph. I get my
Need the composure. Jackson blows the roof off. Wow, it's LJ the GOAT. There's Jackson again.
Well, that's something that they're going to have to take care of business.
Through every heartache, through every cheer, we won't give up till the final buzzer. We've never been more ready.
Need the composure. Jackson blows the roof off. Wow, it's LJ the GOAT. There's Jackson again.
Well, that's something that they're going to have to take care of business.
Through every heartache, through every cheer, we won't give up till the final buzzer. We've never been more ready.
Get closer to the game with the free WNBL app.
Clark with the N1.
Check out the fixture and grab your tickets.
What a finish to the third quarter.
Catch game highlights, stay connected to your favourite player or team, and follow live game stats. Anytime, anywhere.
Cole grabs 2 more.
The WNBL app is where it's at. Download now.
Celebrating 50 years of sneakers?
What do you call a dinner that's ready in minutes and gone in seconds? A slam dunk. That's Latina fresh pasta. Tasty, fuss-free and Aussie-made. Latina. We got the weeknight.
Ford dealers have backed sport in communities for nearly 100 years. And now, from the Boomers and Opals to Aussie Hoops, your local Ford dealer is proud to support basketball. Because all dreams start somewhere.
Halftime in the nation's capital. These two sides fighting for a place in the Signet WNBL finals, and it was Sydney's turn to make their move in the second quarter. They turned around a 1-point deficit at quarter time to lead by 2 at the main break. Jess Webster and Laurie Chiswick with you in commentary. Laurie, as we take a look at some of the first half highlights, an intriguing battle unfolding here. The Flames, of course, if you've just joined us, without Kayla George, but they seem to be settled out there at the moment, and they'll be pretty pleased, I think, with what they produced in the first half.
Well, they certainly would, and really, if it wasn't for the 2 3-point baskets by Abby Bishop in a row there, the Flames were looking really in control of this game. But it's interesting how something like that can really spur a team on, and I think that'll set it up for the second half for Canberra. But I have to say, I give full credit to Sydney playing so undermanned, so undersized, the way they've been able to compete.
They led by as much as 11 points during that second quarter. The Caps made a run for it at the tail end of that second quarter to draw within 2, so they managed to get some momentum in the back end of that quarter, but largely that second term was dominated by the Flames. We have Taylor with the 9 points to go with Brian Catazano as well. Shanice Swain with the 8 points, but Abby Bishop with back-to-back triples kept them alive.
Well,
Gave them a lift and a much needed spark as well. That they needed to get themselves into the match, and it felt like they finally arrived.
I said that it didn't feel like they were playing desperate enough basketball. Their season is absolutely on the line. Lose this game and they're out. They do not, no matter what happens next weekend, they don't have a chance because Sydney have head-to-head on them. So I just expected a little bit more desperation from the Capitals, just diving on loose balls, talking more, kicking the ball ahead, making the Flames chase, because we know their bench is pretty thin out there, but to the Flames' credit, they've done a great job to halftime.
So Collier leading the way with 10 points. She's going to play a really important role this afternoon. Jade Melbourne with the 5 rebounds as well. So these are the key stats towards halftime. A massive second half coming with a finals place on the line as we take you to the break. Let's check out the top 5 plays of last round.
Well, firing. Talking about trust the process, trust the jump shot of Amy Awell. That was always going in.
Crossing over superbly. And almost a no-look pass.
Nice pass.
Party tricks the Potch.
Whoa, there was too many things happening in that possession with Jade Melbourne.
Potch gracefully steps into the paint, gets 2, and can make it 3.
On the line for these two teams, Laurie, what do you think is going to happen in this second half?
Well,
Get out your crystal ball.
Well, you know, we shouldn't be surprised that it's close. It went into overtime the last time they played. However, Sydney are just without their key player, their captain, in Kayla George. So I think at the start of the game, we thought that Canberra would certainly have a slight edge. But I tell you what, Sydney have done a great job of playing small ball and are absolutely right in this game. But I want to see some desperation from Canberra. It is do or die for them.
Here we go. Canberra with first possession here to start the third, and Poch with immediate impact.
They can't defend that. You know, Tupaia was right there, hands up, but just purely the size, Poch can score those.
And scores a level to start the second half. Who's going to stand up when it matters most? Taylor out to Brancatisano in the corner. She was knocking them down in the first half. Here goes Taylor. Bounces off the rim.
Good rotational team defense by Canberra.
Bowyer, her turn from the perimeter. It's no good. And both teams going for it early to start the third. Taylor. Still can't find the finish. Tupai with the rebound. They keep it alive. Swain's turn to make a move. Can she knock it down? Oh, you bet you she can.
And as you said, she can get hot so easily, and that's just what Sydney want and exactly what Canberra do not want. You can see Brancatisano playing Jade Melbourne really closely again.
Sees part for Bowyer, but she can't find the finish. Pittman hands it off to Tupaia. Now to Taylor. They share it around. Taylor now driving hard towards the basket. Can't get it to go. Poch races down the floor. One-on-one against Tupaia. And as you said, Laura, that's hard to defend.
Well, it is, and that was a good outlet pass to the running Poch. All she saw ahead of her was Tupaia. She knows she just scored on her.
So a 1-point ball game. It was the Caps by a point at quarter time. Sydney by 2 at half time. We've got the contest we expected to see so far.
That's Jade Melbourne's third foul.
Tupai gives it off to Swain. Here's Jade Melbourne for company. Nowhere to go. Great defense from the Caps. Munga takes it away. Off to Melbourne for 2. And has turned it over. The home crowd are going to erupt here. The call going the Flames' way.
Well, she well and truly had her feet set, Brancatisano.
That is Jade Melbourne's 4th personal as well.
Wow.
So some concerns now for the Caps. Can't afford to lose Jade Melbourne in such a crucial clash. They lose, it's all over. The scoreboard is incredibly close at the moment. Tupaia gets fouled.
Well, all of a sudden, Sydney would look and go, okay, we might be a little bit more on even terms now with their superstar, Jade Melbourne, who averages 15 points a game, sitting on the sideline and probably will for the rest of this third quarter. Lots of twists to this game, Jess.
Absolutely. Foot Locker is celebrating 50 years of sneakers. Celebrate their half century in the current hoop season by grabbing the latest kicks and apparel at your nearest Foot Locker, the official major partner of the WNBL. I guess, Laurie, we came into today expecting anything. That's what we're getting so far. No Kayla George, Jade Melbourne in foul trouble. And it's a 3-point lead to the Flames here in this third quarter. Great crowd in the house as Bowyer lets it fly. This time they get the call their way. It is a vocal home crowd here at the nation's capital. They're trying to do everything to get their side across the line and potentially play finals this season. Munga looks to go to Collier. And they kick it out. Chance for D-ball to let it fly. He's off target. Swain under pressure by Bowyer. Has to find a way through. Gives it off to Taylor. Off the window for two. Nicely done.
Oh, I'm not sure if that was her intent to go off the window from that range, but she'll take it, no doubt.
Certainly would. 5-point lead to the Flames. Collier against Tapia. Taylor comes in and just steals it away, rips it out of her hands. Takes it down the other end. Can't get it to go. Oh, and that is a foul going against the Caps again.
Well, so the Caps have to be really careful that they don't get caught up in the whole, what are the referees calling? The fans obviously clearly don't like it, and but they've got to really focus on the game at hand here, and you know, there's going to be calls that they don't like go both ways, so they really need to refocus right now.
Catazano hands it off to Swain. She's been in hot form. Gives it off to Taylor from long range. Rattles out. But kept alive. Brain Catazano to Taylor. Now wide open for Pittman. Taylor, great rebound. Again, missing the finish. That's an important stop to the Caps. Bongi goes to Poch. Starting to lift, but broken up by Brain Catazano. Kept alive by Bowyer to D-ball. Now Babongi. It's no good. Just over 5 minutes to go in this third quarter. Flames holding on to a 5-point advantage. Taylor makes a move. Beautiful.
Yeah, that was just too easy. Coach Paul Goris needs to call a timeout, as he did, just to talk to his Chargers and resettle them. Because right now it just feels like the Flames have all the momentum.
Sydney by 7. So they led by as much as 11 points during that second quarter. Caps made a run towards the halftime break and got to within 2, but now the Flames have come out of the gates and open up another 7-point advantage as we see a timeout here in the third. It's almost as though the Capitals at times have seemed a little bit rattled. You kind of would expect that maybe from Sydney without Kayla George and McKenna Dale today, but it's
totally.
like, yeah, the Caps are the ones who haven't quite settled.
I agree, and I think the fact that their captain, Jade Melbourne, who can be a real steadying influence right now, sitting on the bench with 4 fouls, that looks like it's really rattled them. And so Paul Goris needs to talk to them, get them back to basics, you know, get them back to focusing inside but not overdoing it, and making sure that if it does go inside, they get the shot up quickly, because Sydney are looking to collapse really early on once it goes inside.
And we've seen when they do that, Laurie, it's executed well, and they are, you know, putting the pressure on the Sydney defense when they do that.
Well, the thing is, and I think it's a good plan for Sydney, Canberra only shoot the 3 ball at 29%. So they are really relying on packing it in, putting pressure when it goes inside, letting them kick it back out and see what happens. And, you know, right now they're shooting at 25%, so it's a good tactic by Sydney.
So we get play back underway. Deeble with ball in hand up against Brain Catazano. Poch to Collier, the two tools combined. Can't get the points on the scoreboard. Taylor races away. She's lifting up to 13 points. Leading the way for Sydney. Taylor. Brain Catazano. Pittman. Shot clock ticking down. It's no good. Bongi almost collides with Poch. Here's Bowyer. Taylor breaks it up by hand. Ricochets back the way. The Caps. Brancatazano, great defense. They read it best, Sydney. With a 7-point lead, less than 5 to go in the third. Swain can't add a couple more. Tensions continuing to rise. Potch drives hard off the glass for 2. Great move.
Well, that's what they need to continue to do. Put the pressure on the Flames nice and early in the shot clock. See if you can tire them out a little bit. Because they're having to battle some big bodies and not a whole lot of substitutions.
Yeah, it'll certainly play a role, won't it, as we continue in this battle. Can Sydney maintain the intensity for 4 quarters? Taylor in the corner, rattles out. Sydney by 5. Brancatazano breaks it up. She's been important defensively for them today. And Pittman with the finish. That's a steadier for the Flames.
Well, that's just effort by the Sydney Flames and lack of effort from Canberra. That just shouldn't happen. That's where's that desperation? But really good from Sydney, just putting the pressure on them.
Bowyer hands it off to Potch. They go to Collier from the line. Just falls short. There's the hustle from Swain. Wins possession. Brancatazano, she's had the hot hand from this range in the first half and continues it here in the third.
You called that, Jess. She certainly does. I'm so impressed with her at the defensive end, the offensive end.
Potch will head to the line. 10 points the lead again. Mistake, 8 points. The way the Flames. Let's see the replay from Brancatazano. It's a 4th 3-pointer, 6 attempts. Completes the 3-point play. Does Potch. He's up to 14 points. Taylor works the baseline. Can't get it to go. 7-point lead to the Flames. 2.5 minutes to play in the third. And they find a lift here, the Caps. Potch certainly is lifting in the third. Making her presence felt in a big way.
That is something that Potch can do. She's so explosive. She's so athletic. She's got the height on most of these players out there. So she needs to continue to get her feet in the paint, get her eyes on the target, get herself to the foul line.
Can't make it count from the free throw line. 2 minutes to go. Brancatazano in the corner. Not this time. Is the momentum shifting again here the way of the Caps? Within 5. Babongi. Her turn to shine.
Well, that'll lift the crowd up. That'll lift the Canberra Capital players up.
And we're back to a 2-point ball game. Sydney looking to respond, but it comes unstuck. Caps win possession back, and just like they did in the second quarter, they're making their move. That was big from Babongi. And we're heading to a timeout here with the Flames holding on to a 2-point lead here in the third. It's an important few minutes for the Caps to stick with it with Jade Melbourne off the floor. Just going to stay in touch, keep the pressure on Sydney when it really has been Sydney who's kept the pressure on the Caps all match.
Well, it has, and Munger also is on the bench too with 4 fouls. So, you know, 2 big-time players sitting watching right now. But I think Potch is really the key to how they're going to get back into this game.
Yeah, she stepped up in the third. She's up to 17 points now. 3 rebounds and a couple of assists. Collier with the 10 points. and 8 rebounds as well. And for the Flames, Brand Catazano with 12 points, Taylor on 13, Swain with 11. This match continues to grow in intensity. A great crowd in here at the AIS Arena. Finals has certainly come early. The final game of round 15. 1 round to go. We still don't know who's going to take that 4th position.
Well, and really in that last round as well, we won't know until Townsville and Perth play each other who will actually finish in 2nd or 3rd, which really, I mean, they'll play each other in the semifinal, but it'll be home court advantage.
Which counts for so much in the finals. Here's Bishop. Just can't knock it down. Sydney looking to just hold on a bit here. Take the lead and the momentum heading into 3/4 time. Swain somehow found Pittman into the corner. And the shot clock may run out here unless Dees can put it up.
No, that ran out. Really good defensive stop. That might spur the Capitals on in this last minute of the 3rd quarter.
59.9 seconds to go. The Capitals haven't led since the 1st quarter. Sydney have owned most of these middle quarters. Chance to draw scores level or maybe even hit the front at 3/4 time. And that goes out of play, and Sydney will regain possession. Just lost it to Poch. This will be a valuable basket here if the Flames can come up with it. Just to take that handy buffer into the last break. Swain, nowhere to go.
Well, that's the smarts, that's the experience of Abby Bishop. Swain trying to use that on ball or that handoff, and Bishop jumping out aggressively, so she had nowhere to go.
They go to Swain, but it's, oh no, it is going Sydney's way. That's a big call in the context of this 3rd quarter. Let's take another look. So it's going to be the 3rd personal to Poch. Big moment for Shanice Swain.
She's an 83% foul shooter, so she's pretty comfortable at the line. Makes 2.
Just keeps the scoreboard ticking over for the Flames.
There's really nothing in it between the shot clock and the score clock, so they really need to go for just one last shot. Don't give Sydney the opportunity to score at the end.
Oh, Deeble lost it, regained it, blocked by Morris. Bowyer from the wing. Off target, Poch with the rebound. Denied again by the Sydney defense. And we are set up for a massive last quarter in the nation's capital. These two sides throwing everything at each other at 3/4 time. It's the Flames holding on to a 4-point lead. Do not go anywhere. A massive last quarter to come after the break.
EJ, when you're ready, start walking. Go for it, pal.
We're set up for a grandstand finish here in the nation's capital. These two sides fighting for a place in the finals in the Sydney WNBL competition as we turn for home at three-quarter time. It is the Sydney Flames leading by 4 points over the UC Caps. Jess Webster and Laurie Chiswick with you in commentary. And Laurie, things just heated up a couple of notches in that third quarter. We're set up for a great ending to this one.
Well, we did. We saw Nadia Potch sort of take over at the beginning, a couple of layups, a couple of times she got her feet into the paint. But the big thing was for Canberra is that Jade Melbourne and Munga both had to sit for significant amounts of that third quarter. So it'll be interesting to see when Paul Goris pulls the pin and puts them back on.
Tensions continuing to rise at the AIS Arena. Final quarter underway. And it's immediately Sydney with the steal and the finish through Bran Catazano.
Bran Catazano would be my MVP right now, the way she's playing at both ends of the court.
14 points now for Bran Catazano. Here's Bowyer, lets it fly from long range. Collier, hands to it, but couldn't control it. So it'll be a Sydney ball. Or is it going to remain with the Caps?
Warriors 0 from 7 right now. 0 from 4 from the three-point line. So I think she needs to look inside to her players that are posting up.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Catazano, she's feeling it at the moment. Stepping up when it matters.
Well, 15 points for Bran Catazano, but it's what she's doing at both ends of the floor that I really like.
Bowyer hands it off to Babongi. Goes to Potch, who lifted in that third, looking to do exactly that here again in the last. So Melbourne and Munga starting the final quarter on the bench for the Caps. Potch now adding to a tally. $19 points now. Keeping the Caps in it. Tapia. Oh, as the Caps go to ground, and they come up with it.
Bodies flying.
See what happened.
Yeah, bodies flying everywhere, and that's the desperation we talked about.
Oh, there it is. Swain the offender on that occasion.
There's Jade Melbourne itching to get back on the court right now. I don't think it'll be too much longer. Their season's on the line.
Desperate to get back out there, but Bongi lets it fly. Can't get it to go. Fast transition from the Flames. Taylor makes it count.
Smart play by Taylor just to take off.
15 points, 8 rebounds for Taylor. Bran Catazano leading the way, 17. 5 from 8 from three-point range.
Really good court vision by Swain there to see her wide open teammate and Taylor ahead of her. And we see Jade Melbourne back on court with 8 minutes to go. I'll be interested to see if Sydney look to really attack her. See if they can draw that 5th foul from her because she's so important to this Capitals team.
Seven points the margin away the Flames. If they win, they're in. massive 8 minutes to come here at the AIS Arena. Taylor hands it off to Swain. Bites off the pass, it's gone out of play. And there's the Melbourne effect.
Come on, camera. Let's hear it.
We'll no doubt see Brancatisano right up and all over Jade Melbourne.
Melbourne hands it off to Poch. Into the corner for Babongi. Lets it fly!
Well, that's a good start for this little mini comeback that they need. 7.5 minutes to go in this game.
Brancatisano looking to provide the answer!
If they're going to switch on that, they've got to be more aggressive. That's exactly how she scored the last basket. They've got to come out and take that away from her.
20 points and 6 3-pointers for Brancatisano today as Melbourne makes her move. Oh, but it's an offensive foul. Oh, Jade Melbourne can't believe it. Neither can the fans. Oh, dramatic scenes unfolding here at the AIS Arena as we take a look at the replay.
Oh, I'm not sure that her feet were set. She was in the right position, but her feet didn't look set to Paya. That is a massive call.
And that is a huge twist here in the final quarter. Jade Melbourne with a 5th personal foul. So Melbourne heads to the bench. Munga, who's on 4 personals, checks back into the game. It's going to be tough now here for the Caps. Especially when Sydney keep knocking them down from outside the arc. Pittman this time with a big blow. She's pumped up as we head to a timeout in the last quarter.
Very hostile environment for Sydney to be playing in right now, but they are showing all the composure in the world, nailing those 3-point shots. If we look here, have a good look at the feet of, you know, it's a tough call. I have to say, we can't even decide when it's in slow motion, but
down the other end, Pittman makes them pay in a big, big way. It's now a 10-point lead to the Flames with 7 minutes to go in the last. They're without their inspirational skipper, Kayla George, who was a late withdrawal with a foot injury. McKenna Dale also a late out with a finger injury. They are up against it, Sydney, and somehow they have found themselves in a winning position. In enemy territory, and what you said, Laurie, it's a very hostile environment here at the AIS Arena. These home fans are doing everything they can to get their side over the line and playing finals season 24-25.
well, you have to give full credit to Sydney and the way they are playing. Led by Brancatisano, 20 points. She is absolutely on fire.
So, what have we got coming up in the final 7 minutes? Caps need to find something special here. Season on the line, Babongi makes a move. That's not going to help. Although a fumble from Pittman opens up the door. It is heating up out there. You can see the desperation on the faces of every player. It means so much to them to play in the finals. We'll just pause for a few moments. We can all take our breath. We can all reset. There's tense faces everywhere. In the crowd, on the benches, on the floor, in the commentary box. Sydney ball. They lead by 11.
Well, there's still plenty of time left in this game, but
Pittman finds Brancatisano, who's been doing the damage today, but not that time. Munga takes it away. To Bowie in the corner. Works the baseline. Tries to hand it off. It's come unstuck. Sydney's chance to pounce. The hand of Shanice Swain. She's off target. Munga goes for it herself. Comes up short. Desperately needed that. Home crowd thought Brancatisano had a foot outside the court. Play on. Pittman under pressure. Gets fouled. What are you thinking, Laurie?
well, I am. I'm a bit, not bemused isn't the right word, but certainly Cameron, this is the sort of the sign of a young team. You know, there's not a lot of experience out there other than, of course, Abby Bishop, but you know, they're playing into the whole, you know, taking quick shots and the feeling of the crowd. And
oh, that's huge. Brancatisano does it again.
And not doing anything to stop that lady on the screen. Brancatisano has been exceptional this game.
Talk about owning your moment. Brancatisano has knocked down 23 points and 7 three-pointers. She's had an extraordinary performance. And it's starting to fall apart a little bit here for the Caps. They need to show desperation. There's still plenty of time. Time enough if good enough. There's this Munga shot from outside the arc. Just comes up a touch short. But they just look a little bit rattled, or they're feeling the pressure at the moment.
Well, they certainly are. They certainly are. And the Flames are, you know, Flames can do no wrong right now. They weren't expected probably to come in and win this game, given the circumstances with Kayla George being out and having to play such a small lineup. But give full credit to them in the way they've played and attacked this game.
Absolutely. It's a game-high 14-point lead. That helps from Babongi. Cuts it back to 12.
They don't want to foul because it'll send them to the line.
Tapia to Taylor. Pulls the trigger, knocks it down.
Well, I remember talking to Guy Malloy a couple of weeks, no, maybe halfway through the season, and talking about their style of play and how they shot a lot of threes but were the least efficient three-point shooting team in the competition. Well, he's obviously stuck with that, and it has paid off for him because right now his team is almost shooting at 40% from the three-point line, and they've needed to when they're playing small ball.
Babongi responds with a triple of her own. A miss to Sydney. This would help. And Bowyer provides.
Well, that's what they needed. Brought that under that 10-point margin, which is always a good psychological thing to happen. So 9 points is the game. Guy Malloy quickly called a timeout.
Here's the first triple for Babongi. Back to back to Bowyer. They're going to have to do it by committee now, the Caps. Jade Melbourne fouled out of the game. Hodge leading the way with 19 points. Collie with the 12, haven't seen much of her in the second half. Babongi now up to 11. And for the Flames, Brancatisano 23 points, 7 from 11 from three-point range. She's been incredible. Taylor now at the 18, Swain with 14. Home crowd, you've got to give the credit to the home crowd, Laurie. They're doing everything they can to get their team over the line. Their energy has been massive today.
It certainly has, and they are willing their team to try and help them get over the line against a very impressive Sydney Flames outfit.
So what do? Do they keep trying to match fire with fire? Do they need to slow the game down, the Caps? What kind of tempo are they looking for here with 4 minutes to go?
I think they need to keep pushing tempo and putting pressure on the Sydney defense, but they don't need to panic and just take the first shot that's available if it's not a good one. But really, they've got to come up with stops and not foul, because there you go. It sends them to the line straight away, and that's just easy baskets for Sydney.
Let's now put Nadia Poch up to personal foul number 4. Taylor is 1 from 4 at the free throw line this afternoon.
Yeah, she's a good one to foul if you're going to foul somebody overall over the season, a 63% shooter.
Jade Melbourne watches on. She can't do anything now but watch. Taylor 1 from 2. And we're back to a double-digit margin. Less than 4 minutes to go. Season hanging by a thread for the Caps. Bowyer steps up to the plate. It's no good. Swain takes them on. Here she goes. And it's another one to Brand Canizano. This is a starring performance.
Wow, just a great, great shooting display by Brand Canizano.
26 points.
Wasn't even named in our top 4 at the start of the game, and look at her.
She has had the hot hand today.
Well, we talked in the big 4 for Sydney: Swain, George, Taylor, Tapia. Well, take out George and add in Brand Canizano.
Sydney go again. Brand Canizano averages the 4 points per game, Laurie.
I know, exactly. What a time to step up.
Incredible. Less than 3 minutes to play. Taylor takes on the Caps defense. Can't find the finish. 13 points the lead now to Sydney.
She also averages 17 minutes per game, and she's already up past 33.
Talk about taking your opportunity when it comes.
6 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 steals.
And of course, a defensive effort today has been top-notch as well.
She's frustrated Jade Melbourne. Jade Melbourne only ended up with 4 points.
We're heading to another timeout here. Time is now becoming the enemy for the UC Caps. They're 13 points behind. We've got less than 3 minutes on the clock. What do they do, Laurie? Can they do anything?
Well, I think you want to try and end on a good note. I think it's going to be really difficult for them to win this game with all the momentum with Sydney. But you know, they'll draw up something. It's never over till that final buzzer goes. So they'll need to get a couple of either really early, quick 2-point shots or some good 3 points. Penetrate, pitch it out to your shooters. But you've got to also at the other end play some defense and stop the likes of Brand Canizano.
We spoke about earlier as well with a slim bench for the Flames today. Are they going to tire? Are they going to be able to run this match out? And they're showing no signs of fatigue.
I don't think that'll be a problem right now with only a couple minutes to go. Knowing what's on the line, they win this game, they get into 4th spot.
Great crowd in the house at the AIS Arena.
And Bendigo, who are sitting in number 1, will finally know who their opposition is going to be.
Here we go, final few minutes. It'll take something pretty special now. Shanae Swain, 14 points today, 7 rebounds, 7 assists.
The other thing, you know, even more importantly for Sydney is that in round 16, they play Townsville and Southside. But knowing that they've already locked away 4th spot, nothing could change. They have the luxury of perhaps resting, you know, maybe Kayla George isn't ready to come back. Maybe Emma, you know, whoever it is.
Maya Morris, we think, is probably carrying something.
So, you know, that could change that last round, their mindset. But I mean, you don't want to go into the finals either losing 2 games.
So much to play out in a week. What a wild ride it's been towards the finals. Not done yet. 11 points, 2.5 minutes on the clock. Defense is massive. And they get the stop, but can they get the finish? Yes! Is there a pulse in the nation's capital? Taylor wants to put the match to bed.
Nice response from Taylor, just pushing that ball up the floor, putting the defense under early pressure.
2 minutes to go. Bishop. This needs to go in. It doesn't. Canberra ball. They can find a few 3-pointers, Laurie. Anything can happen. It hasn't been their day. 30% from 3-point range. They're not known for it. Munga. Shot is no good. And Sydney find the response as they have done all match. Everything the Caps have thrown at them, they have weathered the storm. Taylor takes a tally to 23 points. Babongi to Bowyer, feet set.
Just not been her shooting night tonight, Bowyer.
Pittman needs some support. They'll be happy just to waste the clock here, Sydney. 13 points is their lead. Tapia has lost it. Elvish is fouled.
There will be some sore bodies from Sydney, but they will be happy sore bodies if they come away with this win in this last minute of the game, which it looks like they will.
It's been a very impressive performance from the Flames today.
And I'd have to say you have to give full credit to the coaching staff, Guy Malloy, Renee Garlett, for putting together a game plan with, you know, very limited height with them and what they can do. And you have to say that that means that regardless of what they do offensively, their defensive principles are rock solid. Whoever's on the court, their defense has stood up, keeping the Caps to 69 points at this stage.
I know we expected anything today, Laurie. I don't think we probably expected this. Poch off the glass for 2. In terms of probably the offensive output that the Flames have put together, their defensive, keeping the Caps so far to 70. Let's Pittman adds to her tally. Brian Catazano stepping up to the plate. Had a little bit of everything. And the Caps have been gallant all season. They've given some of the top teams a shake. But in the nation's capital, it is Sydney who books its ticket to the postseason. An inspiring performance without their leader, but they take down the Caps in enemy territory 86-71 as they book their ticket to finals.
And you can just see the relief the pure happiness on their faces. And Guy Malloy, as we said before, the overtime, and we don't often see big smiles from him, but what an effort from the Sydney Flames this afternoon. That was just mammoth with the group they had, and let's hope that Kayla George's foot's okay and she'll be back into the finals.
Absolutely. So it was the Caps by a point at quarter time in what was a really hotly contested and even battle in the first quarter. Sydney made their move after that. They got out to as much as 11 points in the second quarter. The Caps drew within 2 at halftime. Sydney again came out of the blocks in the second half, opened up a 4-point gap at three-quarter time, and they ended up winning by 15 as they weathered the storm and absorbed the pressure that the Caps and their crowd was providing here all throughout the match. They can hold their heads high. That was massive, and they have locked in 4th place. What a match, Laurie.
Well, you know, it was back and forth for the whole game. Sydney would take the lead. Capitals would find a way to come back, but steadying the Flames actually just steadied and played really smart basketball. They didn't try and do too much. They took advantage when Jade Melbourne and Munger were sitting on the court or on the bench with 4 fouls each, and they sort of went a little bit astray at that point with Canberra, but we thought they might have it in them in that last quarter, but ultimately Sydney just was composed, and seriously, Bran Canasano was so impressive with 26 points.
She shot the lights out of it this afternoon, 26 points, 8 from 12 from 3-point range.
Amazing.
She's absolutely huge, and also 7 rebounds as well to go with it.
And as well as stopping Jade Melbourne, wearing her like a glove and keeping Melbourne to just 4 points, and we know what Jade Melbourne's capable of. She averages 15 points.
So a performance to remember for Isabella Bran-Catanzaro. Hodge tried her best as well. She really lifted in that third quarter to keep her side in it, particularly when Melbourne and Munger are on the bench. These are the stats to full time. So Poch ended up with the 21 points for the Caps. Bran-Catanzaro, as we mentioned, 26. Thanks for coming. Taylor with 23 and 8 rebounds, and Swain 14 and the 7 assists as well. And the Flames, as we mentioned, can be pretty pleased that they produced a really great team performance as well. It was crucial.
Well, they did. They defensively, I thought they, threw some things at the Capitals. They certainly weren't outmatched inside because their defense just stopped that. They collapsed when it went inside, and a really good game plan by the coaches. The players stuck to it, executed it, and came out with a great 15-point win.
So Celeste Taylor and Isabella Bran-Catanzaro combining for 49 points today. These are Celeste's numbers to full-time. She's always, I guess, consistent in the way that whatever role she needs to play, she executes that. So she doesn't put in, high shooting necessarily every week, but every time that she's given a task or a role, she always seems to produce.
Well, and I thought she brought a lot of energy. You saw her on the end of some fast breaks where the team, Swain in particular, I can think, kicked it ahead. She was running the floor and just got a wide open layup. And that's just a hustle, energy, and she brought that the whole game and was very impressive.
Averages a 9.8 points per game, so a great return to her with 23. But the match belonged to Isabella Bran-Catanzaro. What a performance we have seen. She averages 4 points per game, and she put in 26 today. And look at that 3-point percentage. You'd take that any day of the week, Laurie?
Absolutely. And I know the last time they played, when it went into overtime, she did a great job on Jade Melbourne, but didn't quite have the influence offensively. But for her to do both, the double whammy for her team, points and stop the high score of the other team, you just can't fault her performance.
She was superb today, so that wraps up round 15 of the Signet WNBL competition. So the puzzle pieces are slowly starting to fall into place. We know that Bendigo finished first, Sydney finished fourth, and now it'll come down to the final round between Perth and
Townsville to see
who finishes second spot. But these are the results to round 15. Just another day in the life of a wild season in the WNBL, Laurie.
It is, and what a great sort of build up to the finals that we have. coming, and let's hope that Sydney are healthy. And now then let's bring on the finals after round 16.
Absolutely. Cannot wait for next week to see how that unfolds. But for now, it is time to wish you goodbye. Thanks so much for
Ellis driving baseline. What a dive! Wickham. How sweet was that? Step back three.
Wow.
Taylor George. She's got a flamethrower at the moment.
Shelley with a big triple.
It was acrobatic. It was impressive. It was Steph Talbot.
Jade Milne with the lefty lay-in. Capitals continue to roll. Perth have been unconscious from three. Alice Koenig connects.
She's pumped up, and so she should be.